Ako po ay hindi naman po ako magpapaligoy-ligoy pa. Ako po ay dating leftist. Ako po ay napabilang sa mga lumalaban sa gobyerno. Ngayon, ako po ay naliligayahan sapagkat gusto ko pong ibalita sa ating mga kababayan na sa ngayon po, napaka-successful, napakamatagumpay po ng ating gobyerno sa pakikipaglaban sa mga terorista. Katunayan, ito pong mga intelligence at confidential fund nito ay nakatulong po para linisin yung mga liblib na lugar ng mga terorista, ng mga tinatawag po natin nananakot, nangingikil. Nandiyan po lahat yan. Akin pong sinusuportahan itong pagbibigay ng intelligence fund, confidential fund sa ating pong Pangulo, sa ating pong pangalawang Pangulo, lalong-lalo na po sa ating pangalawang Pangulo, sapagkat ang Davao po sa ngayon ay maituturing pong safe zone na. Yan po ay nalinis na ng mga tinatawag po nating mga terorista. At alam ko po, yaang pangyayari na yan, kasama po sa tagumpay na yan ang ating Vice Presidente. At naniniwala po ako na malaki ang maitutulong ng ating Vice Presidente sapagkat ang unang, katulad po ng ginawa kong pelikula na ang pangalan po ng dokumentaryo, ito pong Memoirs of a Teenage Rebel. Ito po ay pinag-usapan po dito kung paano nire-recruit ng mga terorista yung ating pong mga batang estudyante sa mga paaralan at dinadala po nila ito sa kabundukan. Iyan po napatunayan po namin doon na bilyon-bilyon piso po ang nanggagaling na funding niyan sa abroad. At paano po natin yan lalabanan? Lalabanan po natin yan kung meron din po tayong bilyon-bilyon na ibibigay natin sa intelligence at confidential fund. Kaya po ako, nagpapasalamat po ako sa ating kapulungan at inyo po itong sinusulong at magkakaroon po tayo ng oversight committee dito. At ako po ay sinusundan ko po lahat ang sinasabi ng ating Ginoong Pangulo at ang ating pong pinunong manurya. At ito po ay tagumpay ng Inang Bayang Pilipinas. Dahil sabi nga po namin ni Senator Bato, hanggat may kaguluhan sa loob ng bansa, wag po nating asahan na tayo'y aasenso. Kailangan po nating tapusin yung kaguluhan na yan para tayo po'y umasenso. At ako naman po, gusto ko pong liwanagin lang. Ako po ay hindi against sa kahit anong makakaliwa. Ang against po ako, yung karahasan. Tigilan na natin yung karahasan. Pwede naman po tayong lahat maging revolusyonaryo, yung tunay na revolusyonaryo, pero walang karahasan. Huwag po tayong maging paatras, kundi maging paabante po tayo. Ginoong Pangulo, ako po'y naliligayahan sapagkat ito pong usapin ng intelligence at confidential fund ay naayos po natin dito sa ating kapulungan sapagkat napakahalaga po nito.
Senate Resolution number 302, creating a select oversight committee to keep a close eye on our government agencies' utilization of their allocated confidential and intelligence funds. I'd like to put on record that we've been doing this since the 10th Congress, and each Congress has had an oversight committee. It has been the tradition of the Senate to constitute a select oversight committee for these funds, and we must, in the 19th Congress, continue this tradition, especially as we are dealing with confidential intelligence funds amounting to 9.28 billion pesos for 2023. These funds are essential, and we need to empower our agencies to conduct necessary programs, operations, and activities for the safety and security of our people. This is especially true now as we're facing strange new challenges in these strange new times. Crime looks and moves differently than we are used to. Sometimes it creeps into vulnerable spaces like schools, where illegal drugs or child pornography can find root in. So in these times, we need to be more trusting of our government agencies as agencies at the forefront of these problems like child sexual abuse, illegal drugs, terrorism, and the like would know what appropriate programs, activities, and projects to undertake. We have to have faith that they would use every inch of diligence and discretion in undertaking surveillance and intelligence gathering in the discharge of their sacred mandates in keeping with their oaths. That said, it is also a responsibility to be vigilant over how these funds are in use, as they are not subject to the usual or regular auditing rules and procedures of the Commission on Audit as compared to other expense items in the budget. So it falls on us, on this proudly democratic independent Senate, to reactivate the Select Oversight Committee, where we can subject these confidential intelligence funds to checks and balances. We are cognizant of our own primordial role, power, and responsibility as holders of the power of the purse. We, the elected representatives of the people, must ensure that these funds are judiciously and rightly used. Judiciously, rather, and rightly used. Trust, or please trust, that we will do our jobs. The Senate will exercise the full extent of our oversight function, and we will monitor the use of these funds, and we will go over the reports relevant to each agency's use of the funds. And we will conduct hearings if necessary, Your Honor. Babantay tayo sa pondong ito, pera ito ng bayan, kaya bilang Senado ng bayan, sisiguraduhin natin na taong bayan rin ang makikinabang nito. With that, I hope to have your support, my dear colleagues, in constituting this committee for this 19th Congress.
Mr. President, I welcome this development in the Senate, but as stated by our Senate President, we have done this before. So let's continue the good practice. But then there's even a better practice, which is to discourage the allocation of lump sums, especially in the form of confidential and intelligence funds in the national budget. So if we are able to constitute this committee, select committee, it will have jurisdiction on those agencies and personalities or government officials which have command over confidential and intelligence funds after we have tried our best to trim down the grant of CIF and also to discourage the grant of CIF. So yun po yun. So this is parang, in my mind, this becomes parang a second level of defense in the name of the people and for the people. Yeah. So thank you. In the name of transparency. So thank you very much, Mr. President.
Mr. President, I am very happy and very appreciative that my esteemed colleague and seatmate, Senator Rizon Tiberos, brought this thing up. And we really do know na yung pong human trafficking is really rampant. And unfortunately, most of the victims are OFWs na gustong magtrabaho sa abroad para kumita ng pera, at pagdating po sa abroad, sila po napapagsamantalahan. And I encourage my esteemed colleague, Senator Rizon Tiberos, Mr. President, to file a proper resolution so that it refers to my committee, and I'll be more than happy and willing to work with her any way we could to ensure na ma-solve po itong problem na ito. And this is the reason why, if you remember, during the budget hearing involving the Department of Information and Communication Technology, na mabigyan po sana natin ng budget. Kasi po zero budget po when it comes to intelligence, yung pong DICT. Wala po silang confidential funds na ibinigay po sa kanila. Unlike po sa other agencies na kung tutusin, hindi naman talaga kailangan nila ng confidential funds, pero nabibigyan sila. Ito pa kay DICT, which is very important. Crucial po ito sa atin, especially if we're talking about human trafficking. Na ito pong sa human trafficking, they're using po the social media. Kasi po, karamihan sa mga nabibiktima sa atin ay through the social media. Kasi gumagamit po sila ng mga iba-ibang site, iba't ibang pangalan, cover, para hindi po sila talaga tunay na ma-identify. So, dito po papasok yung ating DICT. So, kung well-funded po yung DICT at meron po silang tinatawag na intelligence funds, then madali pong masasakote ito pong mga scammers na ito na nagbi-victimize po ng ating mga OFWs. So again, doon po sa NGOs na nakipagtulungan po sa tanggapan ni Senator Rizon Tiberos, I really commend them, I salute them, and if there's anything more we can do to help, me being the committee chair sa Department of Migrant, or committee chair sa mga OFWs, the migrant workers, again, I'll be more than happy to help. And hindi lang mo po dapat ako, this should be a collective effort for everybody to help para matugunan tong problema nito because it's been a long, long time this problem has been existing. And in fact, nagyari pa ito many times in the past about yung pastillas. So hindi ko alam hanggang ngayon pala, nag-exist pa rin to. So it's about time na magising tayong lahat, magtulungan tayo para ma-address itong issue nito.